Hello loves and welcome to today's video. As the spooky season shortly comes to an end, we are transitioning into the last end of year hustle to get those reading goals done. Today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag as well as giving you some updates on how my reading goals are going. As a Storygraph user, I have 3 different reading goals in terms of quantity. That is a book goal, a pages goal, and a audiobook hours goal. I'll start on the high note, which is that I have already hit my pages goal for the year. My goal is usually set to 36,500 pages, which is 100 pages for every day of the year. That is what I usually strive to achieve in a day, at least 100 pages. I am currently at 118% of that goal with 42,956 pages read. So I have crushed that already and I'm super happy about that. I'm also fairly close to hitting my hours goal. My hours goal is set to 1,000. I am at 97% of that goal with 971 hours listened to, so I am hopeful that I should be able to complete that by the end of October. So we're on track with those 2 goals. In terms of my book reading goal, I set it to 300 books. Last year I read 375, but I did read a lot more graphic novels, so I set it to 300 this year. I have cut back drastically on how many graphic novels I'm reading, just because there's not as many series that interest me as when I first started reading graphic novels. I am currently at 247 books, which is 82% of my goal. I am ahead by 5 books currently. Realistically, I should be able to hit this goal by the end of the year. Now let's get to the questions. The first question is if there are any books I've started that I want to complete by the end of the year. I am pretty great at staying on top of the books that I want to read. I don't have too many on the go all at once. The one I am currently reading is Diavola by Jennifer Thorne. This is about a woman who goes on vacation to Italy with her family and spooky things start happening in this villa. So I'm hoping to finish this one probably in the next couple days. But yeah, that's really the only one of the books that I currently have on the go and haven't finished. Next is whether I have any autumnal reads that I'm using to transition into this season. Obviously, October is spooky season. I've already covered quite a bit of the spooky books that I'm gonna read. For me, this time of year is more Goodreads Choice Awards season, so I have really been prioritizing 2024 releases in the past little bit. I have like 50 outstanding holds on various 2024 releases I want to read. So a couple of those: Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. This is about a movie producer executive who has been told by the studio he needs to kill off the gay characters in his very successful television series. Monsters from his television series start to show up in real life. I enjoyed Camp Damascus and I grew up on Tumblr, so the Bury Your Gaze trope is something that is very familiar to me. I am looking forward to reading this. And another 2024 that I'm trying to read is Devil Kills Devils by Johnny Compton. Johnny Compton wrote The Spite House, which came out last year. I was kind of okay on. Haunted house stories, I think, just really are not my favorite of the horror subgenres, but I did enjoy Johnny Compton's writing. So this one is about a girl, I don't know how old she is based on the description, who has had a guardian angel her whole life, and then one day her guardian angel kills someone and she starts to question whether it really is an angel. We cover this one I thought was really cool with like the demon thing here, and I am really looking forward to seeing more of Johnny Compton as he grows since The Spite House was his debut. Next question, are there any new releases that I am still waiting for? There are 2. One is Private Rights by Julia Armfield. I absolutely loved Our Wives Under the Sea, and I was really looking forward to reading Julia Armfield's next book. The one is The Odyssey by Stephen Fry. This one is the continuation of Stephen Fry's Great Myths series. I've read all the other ones, been collecting them over the past while, but those 2 books are out in the UK but are not yet released in Canada. I could not justify the price from Blackwell's to get them to me, but I am still looking forward to them and their eventual release in Canada. Next is 3 books that I want to read before the end of the year. These 3 are books that I put on previous month's TBRs. hadn't had a chance to get around to, so I do want to still complete them by end of year. First is Islands in the Net by Bruce Sterling. This is like a cyberpunk book about pirates in the dark data age. Jane Seymour, The Haunted Queen by Alison Weir. This is in the Six Tudors Queen series. This is about the various wives of Henry VIII. I have read the first two. This one is the next one. I put this on my TBR like way back in May because I was going to C6. Didn't get to read it before I went to C6, but still would like to finish this series. The last one is Krampus by Brom. I did a reading vlog recently where I read a bunch of Brom books and I ran out of time to read this one, but it is Christmas themed, so this is a library book and I just keep like extending the hold, hoping that no one else has requested it, and I want to try and read this one a bit closer to Christmas, but I definitely still want to read it and hope that I enjoy it. So those are the 3 books that I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year. Next is a book that could still shock me and become a favorite. I don't know. I usually try to go in with like neutral expectations. Obviously, there are some books that are going to be very exciting and hyped, but I try mostly to temper my expectations. You hope everyone is a favorite, but you also prepare for them to let you down. If anything turns out to be a favorite that's going to shock and surprise me, I would say maybe it would be Militia, which I'm hoping to read by the end of the year. This is by Stephen Dos Santos. This is about some kids who go to an abandoned amusement park on an island, I think in the Dominican Republic, and spooky things start happening. This one would be the shocking, surprising favorite, just because I don't think I have heard anyone else reference that this book even exists. So it's hard to have any expectations going into it. I got it as an ARC that was given away by a bookstore on Independent Bookstore Day. So I have 0 expectations for this because I don't have any point of reference. So if this becomes a favorite, I will be surprised, but it is still a horror novel, so it is possible it could be a favorite. So we'll say that one. And last question is if I have set any reading goals for 2025 yet. I haven't set any specific reading goals, but I did recently go through about 6 months worth of 2025 releases, anything Goodreads had listed from January to June, to pick out ones that I'm going to keep an eye and watch out for. And I did find like 24 books that I think I would be interested in reading, either because it's an author I like, or it had a cool cover, or the concept sounded fun. I would think the number 1 out of that list is Blood on Her Teeth by Joanna Van Veen. I did recently read My Darling Dreadful Thing, and it was a 5-star. That was actually a shocking 5-star. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. It is pre-ordered, which I don't do often, so that is the most amount of planning I've done for 2025 so far, is pre-ordering a single book. So that is my check-in towards the end of the year on my reading goal. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any last-minute books you're trying to finish for 2024. Just leave the calendar emoji so I know that you made it this far into the video. If you enjoyed, like the video and consider subscribing so you don't miss any more of my future videos. There is a link to my Goodreads and my Instagram in the description box if you would like some sneak previews of what I read throughout the month. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.